Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome to the first video of this little mini series I'm going to do, which is about radar detectors. Now, I'm planning on making only 3 videos for this series, but if you guys give me a lot of good feedback, then I'm going to make future videos. This first video is going to be about the basics of radar detectors. The next video is going to be about why you should get a radar detector. And the third video is going to be on my specific radar detector, which is a Whistler CR90, which is a really good radar detector, but like I said, I'll make a separate video for that. But for today's video, I'm going to go over the basics of radar detectors and radars, just to get you guys up to speed. Let's say you got a radar detector and you're detecting radar. Now, let's say you don't know what it means because it shows up with a letter. Like, let's say it shows up with like X or K or KA or something like that, and you don't know what that means. This video will help you understand what all that means. Now, when you see letters like XK and KA, those have to do with the different bands that are associated with the radars. And there are bands because there are a whole wide range of different frequencies that radars can emit. And so they basically separated each of the frequencies into different names and categories or letters or whatever you want to call them. But first you got the X band, which is between 8 to 12 gigahertz for the frequency. You got K band, which is between 18 to 27 gigahertz, and then you also have KA band, which can be between 27 and 40 gigahertz. Now, if you pick up one of these types of radars, you might wonder, like, where does this all come from? Okay, now if your radar detector picks up X band, then that means that it's most likely a false alarm. They only use X band in about 9 states, and I believe also the District of Columbia, but I'm going to list the 9 states on the screen. But the only thing is that radar detectors are illegal in one state, which is Virginia, so you wouldn't really be picking up X band because you wouldn't really have a radar detector. They actually have radar detectors in Virginia, so don't try going around with a radar detector there. Anyways, back to the video. So it's most likely a false alarm if you pick up X band, and if you have X band on, and let's say you're near a store, then the X band could be coming from the automatic doors because they use radars in order to detect people that are present in front of the automatic door. Same thing applies for K-band when it comes to automatic doors, but K-band can be a lot of other things. It's the most common band that radar detectors pick up, and it can either be the automatic doors at stores, or it could be the blind spot monitoring system in a newer car, or it could be an actual cop. But the only place that K-band is actually not used is in Northern California. And every other place in the United States, they use K-band. Finally is KA band. Now, Northern California use KA band, and so do all the other states. KA band has to do with law enforcement. If your radar detector picks up KA band, then it's most likely going to be a cop. Like 90 to 99% of the time, it's going to be a cop. And you can tell if it's a cop or not if your radar detector can detect frequencies as well. My detector detects frequencies, so I know when it's a cop or when it's a false alarm. The FCC regulates law enforcement to use radars between 33.4 and 36 gigahertz. And most of the time you will encounter a 33.8 gigahertz, 34.7 gigahertz, and 35.5 gigahertz radar guns. But it won't be exact to those numbers. You gotta make sure that it's between 33.4 and 36 in order to actually determine that it's law enforcement. But yeah, 2 other features that some radar detectors have are the abilities to detect lasers and the ability to detect red light cameras. And they can detect both of those things. They can detect the lasers, but I wouldn't really rely on it too much to detect a laser because a laser is very thin, and if cops use lasers, then they're most likely gonna target your license plate or your bumper. Now, I'll cover how to counter lasers in another video if the miniseries does well, but for now I won't really cover how to counter lasers. And it's not like you really have to worry about it too much, because cops use radars 80% of the time and they use lasers about 20% of the time. Lastly, my specific radar detector and a couple other ones can detect red light cameras, and basically it can detect that because some radar detectors have GPSs built into it, so it knows where there are red light cameras. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time in the next video when I talk about why you should get a radar detector. And so yeah, see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, before I actually end the video, there is one point that I forgot to mention, and that is the number that's on the radar detector. So let's say you detect a radar and it has a number right next to it. That determines the strength of the signal. So for me, the strength can go from 1 to 9. My friend has a Cobra radar detector and his can only go up to 5, but basically the number means the strength of the radar. If it's a very high number, then that means the radar is strong and or it's very close to you. If it's under that, then you know it's a lot farther from you, or it's not as strong. But yeah, anyways, for sure this time, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.